We're here with Chuck Schuldiner from Death.
Hello.
All right, Chuck, how long's Death been together, and who was the original lineup?
Death has been together since late 1983. We started actually under the name Mantis and broke up about 4 months after that. I wanted to reform a new band with a new lineup called Death. I unfortunately had to resort to my old members once more, who was Camley and Rick Ross. And, you know, we put out a few demos, about 4 actually. Then I got rid of that lineup. It was a mutual split, let's put it that way. I then went out to California about mid-85, late 85, and got signed eventually to Combat Records with a friend of mine, Chris Ryford, on drums. And that pretty much kicked things off as far as the records.
Yeah. Is there like a reason as far as like, you know, I guess ever since Leprosy, the lineup changes is like really, you know, a lot of people, I don't know, kicked out or
right.
quit.
Yeah.
Is there a reason for that?
Not including Chris in this, because Chris is a great guy, but as far as the other members, I have unfortunately I have bad luck with getting people who just are lame or just have some sort of problem in one way or another. You know, it's hard to find the correct people that are going to be professional and that are going to, you know, be true to the sound. This band has a certain sound, and I can't deal with anyone that's going to bring or keep us back from improving. And it's definitely a tough business to be in, because you get judged because of things like that, because of lineup problems. People automatically assume you're some ego maniac. That's just not how it is. You know, there's a lot of people that go through lineup problems. I always like to refer to King Diamond, who I have a lot of respect for. You know, I don't really care. Naturally, I like when a band keeps a lineup, but as long as they keep the same sound, you know, then I'm just concerned with that. Them putting out good music, and I think Death, no matter what, has always stayed true to the music, and I think that's what it really comes down to.
What's the reason for like choosing the musicians you chose for this album over anybody else?
Well, it just worked out great because after the falling out of the previous lineup, I've known Sean on drums and Paul, who plays guitar, for quite a few years. They played in a band, Cynic. They still have Cynic on, actually. They took time to help me out on Human, along with Steve DiGiorgio from Status. We had a really good time. It was great. We're all friends, and we had a great time partying and rehearsing and recording with Scott Burns, and it was a really great situation to be in. And we've got a new bass player, Scott Carino, because Steve is full-time in Status. So it worked out great. You know, I'm really grateful to the people who have helped me, you know, get this out and stuff.
That's cool. I know from like the first 2 albums, most of your lyrics were pretty gory and stuff, you know. Is there any reason, like, from now, why you kind of changed?
Yeah, definitely. Just, you know, when I wrote those early lyrics, especially Scream Bloody Gore, I was 18 and, you know, thought a lot differently. And, you know, the gore was really the thing I wanted to get across. I always wanted to avoid the satanic deal, because I'm not into that.
Yeah.
And so gore was cool for a couple albums, but, you know, to be taken on a serious level, you know, I think you need to write stuff that people can relate to. You know, people can't relate to a zombie eating someone's arm off or something, you know, it just doesn't happen in real life.
Definitely.
So I like dealing with real life situations.
How long have you been playing guitar, and you had any private lessons?
I've been playing for 8 years, and I'm self-taught. I took lessons for about a week, and it got kind of boring. You know, I just wanted to go in my own direction. I didn't want to learn someone else's style. I wanted to hopefully try to achieve my own, which I think is definitely important.
That's cool.
Definitely.
Is tour going pretty good?
Yeah, it's going cool. You know, definitely we're having a good time. The bands get along great. You know, no problems whatsoever.
That's cool. When did it start?
It started about 2.5 weeks ago. This is, I think, our 9th or 10th show. Okay. And our next show is in Chicago. We're going to play a couple shows in Milwaukee. Yeah. So all these are going to be really cool, you know, really big shows.
Cool. Kind of a personal question for myself. How come there's no T-shirts last year? Like when you guys came here, there was no
'cause
T-shirts.
our merchandise.
And then you came back
totally-
again. There's still no more T-shirts. So.
Yeah, our merchandise totally screwed us over. We didn't get our merchandise that we were supposed to, and it's definitely unfortunate for the people who came out. Definitely for us, because that's what we survive on.
Yeah.
It definitely hurt.
What prompted the label change, Chuck?
Pardon me?
What prompted the label change?
Actually, Combat in Effect and one other label was a side label. There were several side labels, divisions of Relativity. Combat was the metal one, and Effect was kind of the trippy, dippy, funk, whatever type stuff, whatever alternative. And they were, I guess Relativity decided it's time to clean house, get rid of all the side labels, just become one label with different types of music rather than trying to cater each label to each type of music.
Right.
It's just more organized, I guess, this way. And, hopefully it's for the best. I don't know. We'll find out.
They treating you pretty good?
Decent. We've got a lot of complaints. No label treats anyone decent, it seems, these days, other than our new label in Europe, Road Racer. Or Road Runner, whatever. Road Racer?
Road Runner.
Road Runner. And they're God. I mean, they're treating us
Cool.
great. I totally worship those people. They've been very helpful. And I think that's what a label should be, helpful and not
Definitely.
cheap.
Definitely.
Being that you probably, pretty much like the originator of death metal, besides maybe Celtic Frost and Venom, but still, pretty much the more heavy side of death metal. What influenced you to write that type of music?
Bands from the early 80s, such as Anvil, Merciful Fate, Exciter, Raven, Venom, Hellhammer, Celtic Frost. All the early stuff that I feel lucky to have been a part of, because these days people are growing up on a lot of crap.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but it's true.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Nothing against anyone. It's just there's too much generic stuff out there right now. There's bands that are out there that think you're wimpy if you put out talent into your music. They have to be just noisy almost.
Yes.
That doesn't make any sense. And sorry, I hate to break it to those bands, but they're never going to get anywhere.
Sure.
Man.
Yeah.
I want to keep improving, but yet remain sincere as to what we started out with, and that is an aggressive form of music, but yet put in talent, and that's what I want to get across is what we are able to do, and hopefully what we're able to improve on from each album to the next.
Yeah. So what do you listen to nowadays?
A lot of different stuff, anything from Queensryche to Watchtower to Kiss to older metal still, which I worship.
Like classical stuff?
Yeah, I like some classical. I'm really open-minded to a lot of stuff. There's a band Lush I really like. And then Spandau Ballet, whatever, a lot of different stuff. Possessed, Slayer. I like heaviness. I like stuff that I can relax to. Because, I'm always in a different mood, which everyone is. And I think it's good to have that different types of music to break away from.
Since you had Pestilence on tour with you guys last year, what made you decide to get them this time, or was it just like coincidence? Or?
Well, actually, we were pretty much label mates in Europe,
Really?
and that worked out really cool. Our album was kind of coming out at the same time, and they're really cool guys. We get along great and had a good time all the time, and it works out good. I like them. I like their music.
Yeah, it's cool. Why did you name the album Human? Is it is there a concept behind it, or?
Well, it definitely deals with things everyone has to relate to or deal with, I should say, as being human. I think a lot of times people forget that people in bands are human. We all are able to make mistakes, and unfortunately when we do, we're looked down upon in a weird way by the public. I've made mistakes and I've done things that I've had to do that doesn't make sense to people. But instead of people assuming I'm a jerk for doing it, they should think, well, maybe he has his reasons. And so it really ties in with that, how I've been totally perceived by the business, the public eye, I should say.
Yeah.
It really has a lot of different meanings.
Yeah.
And I think I speak on behalf of a lot of bands when I say that we have problems we all have to deal with, just like anyone. I'm not rich. just because I've got albums out. I'm still struggling to survive.
Yep.
You know, right now I'm living at home, you know, and temporarily, and you know, it's a normal life. Well, actually not the business part, but we all live normal lives just like everyone else.
You got any problems from PMRC or anything?
No, not yet, really.
Nothing.
It's amazing.
Nothing from the beginning.
No, I thought in the beginning. Now I really couldn't see how they could get the problem, but in the beginning, I guess it really wasn't that popular, so it really didn't get brought up into the public eye.
Last question. What did you mean by on the tape when you said this is more than a record to me? It's a statement of revenge.
Just referring kind of back to how I have such a bad reputation within the public, it seems, as far as people automatically assuming because there's line problems I'm a jerk, and ex-members being asked to leave the band, I'll say that in a nice way, and then seeking revenge by lying about me. And unfortunately, people want to believe the worst, man. They don't want to say, well, I doubt that's true. I should just wait for myself. They don't say that. They're just like, wow, really? He's a ego monster? You know, that's a drag, man. You know, there were so many people recently, before Human came out, that said I was no longer in the music business. I was going to form a glam band.
Oh, I heard that.
Yeah.
Or I was in a mental institution. You know, these are lies, vicious lies, and it's not. It's scary because people believe them, man. And so this album is a big slap in the face, man, to all the people that really tried to bring me down.
Definitely.
You know, definitely.
You got any closing comments? You know, want to set the record straight?
Support music and not rumors.
Cool.
That's right.
Cool.
Definitely.
Cool. Turn off for a second.
Hello, this is Chuck Schuldiner from the band Death. You're watching Metal Mania.
Cool.